Welcome. In this video, we're diving into the world of low-level design, or LLD. If you've ever wondered what happens after the big picture architecture is decided in software projects, you're in the right place. We'll explore what LLD is, how it fits into the software development process, and why every software engineer should care about it. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of how LLD differs from high-level design, and why mastering it is crucial for building maintainable, robust software. In building software, we usually think at different levels of detail. At the highest level, we focus on the overall structure and how major components interact. This is where high-level design, or HLD, comes into play. It's like looking at a city map before planning your route. HLD helps us decide what the main building blocks are, how they connect, and what technologies might be involved. This sets the stage for the more detailed work that follows. High-level design, or HLD, is all about the big picture. Imagine you're building an e-commerce application. At this stage, you decide on the main services you need, such as user service, order service, payment service, and so on. You also choose the type of database, whether you need a cache, and how services will communicate, maybe through REST APIs or Kafka. These are the kinds of questions and decisions that define HLD. It's about setting up the architecture before diving into the details. Once the architecture is in place, it's time to zoom in. This is where low-level design, or LLD, takes over. Now, instead of thinking about entire services, we focus on the internals of each component. For example, inside the order service, we start designing the classes, their properties, and how they interact. This is the stage where we define the nuts and bolts that make the system work, ensuring that every detail is carefully planned. Let's look at a practical example. Inside the order service, you might design a class called order, with fields like id, status, and amount. You'll also define methods, relationships between classes, and how data flows within the service. This is where concepts like objects, design patterns, and API contracts come into play. LLD is all about making sure every part of the system is well-defined and works together seamlessly. Here's an important point. The boundary between HLD and LLD isn't fixed. For example, the order service might appear as a single box in your architecture diagram. That's HLD. But if you zoom in and start discussing controllers, repositories, and databases within that service, you're moving into the HLD of the order service itself. Zoom in even further to classes and methods, and you're in LLD territory. The distinction depends on your level of abstraction. Think of it like Google Maps. You can view the world, a country, a city, a street, or even a house. Each level becomes the high level for the level below it. In software design, HLD and LLD are relative concepts. What's high level at one stage becomes low level as you zoom in. The difference isn't about the technology you use, but about how much detail you're considering at any given moment. So why should you care about low-level design? Most software doesn't become hard to maintain because of poor architecture, but because of poor code design. LLD ensures that every detail is thoughtfully planned, making the codebase easier to understand, extend, and maintain. Good LLD leads to fewer bugs, better performance, and happier development teams. It's the foundation for building software that stands the test of time. Wrap up, low-level design is all about the details that make software systems work smoothly. It complements high-level design by filling in the specifics after the architecture is set. Remember, the boundary between HLD and LLD is flexible and depends on your perspective. Mastering both levels of design is key to becoming a great software engineer. Thanks for watching, and keep exploring the fascinating world of software design.